Hey, how you guys doing? What's up? Yeah. Crazy. Hey, we wanted to drive from Albany to get here. It took an hour, and somebody almost crashed into us when we were driving here. I mean, it was ridiculous. I was so mad. I'm like, dude, we're reading your newspaper. I mean, come on. And you know, the whole focusing thing, that's overrated. You know, I was so mad. He almost made me mess with my text message. I mean, that's inappropriate, really. But I kind of had a weird childhood growing up. I was bullied a lot as a kid. Quite a bit, actually. And my teachers even made fun. They're like, you're not going to get anywhere in life. Which was awful because I was homeschooled. I mean, that's just it's uncalled for, really, what it is. And the worst thing about homeschooling, hands down, probably, there's really only two choices when you're homeschooled. It's either your mom or your sister. Well, thank you for that awkward. Uncover your mouth. Seriously, we're laughing now. It's time to. Okay, trust me. Everyone looks retarded when they laugh. It's okay. Yeah. So once again, you really only have two choices when you're homeschooled, your mom or your sister. Well, it's pretty bad when your mom's dad jobs. It's really disappointing. Although the evening wasn't a total loss, you know, I only had to pay the limousine driver, go from the front door to the back. That worked out. It was my dad, so I bought him those tickets. Somehow I voted myself into being prom queen, so I was the only one voting too, so that made it awkward. Yeah, and I also somehow managed to lose the class presidential race. I don't. People kept complaining at my graduation, like, man, this is taking forever. I don't even on the valedictorian. That thing just would not shut up. You just kept talking on and on and on. Yeah. You know, like, at least, you know, like, some people actually have an excuse for this, but I didn't have an excuse to go to home ec. I did not have an excuse for that. You know, at least most people have, like, oh, it's where the hot chicks are. I was homeschooled, remember they? Yeah, it's pretty bad when your local city actually tries to recruit you to be part of their group, and you're, like, the only homeschooling family to up the grades there. You know, other things that have been happening lately is completely ridiculous. I was watching the news, and a pirate ship attacked a cruise ship. And get this, the pirates lost. How embarrassing is that? Like, can you imagine they're in their piratey prison, like, talking about how they got caught? It's like, oh, some swashbuckling tale. It's like, hey, how did you get caught? Well, the love boat got me. You really got to watch out for those shuffleboard dudes and the walkers, man. They are dangerous. Man, I used to work for a heating and air conditioning company in New York State, and I go to people's houses, and this is a true story. I'm not making this up in the slightest bit. I was at this lady's house, and she's like, I'm old, and I have dementia, which means it might take me a little while to find my checkbook. And I was like, what am I supposed to do with that? I didn't know what to do. I felt uncomfortable. Like, I don't know what to say now. And she's like, don't worry about it. It might even turn into Alzheimer's, but I'll be able to hide my own Easter egg. Swear to God, she said that. I was like, I love this lady. I walked out of the room, I walked in, I'm like, Grandma! I talked her into putting me in the will, but she forgot that. You guys have Home Depot and Lowe's out here? I don't know what to say. Just Home Depot? Have you guys ever been into Lowe's? Okay. Lowe's is the chick version of Home Depot, for those of you who don't know this. It's clean. It is, like, spotless. Lowe's is like the cleanest place ever. And then there's always some dude that walks up to you as soon as you walk into a Lowe's and is like, hi, how you doing? How can I help you? Those are directions. We're dudes. We don't like directions. It's like, no, I don't need no friggin' directions. I don't need no GPS. They're ridiculous. You know, that's when we go to Home Depot as dudes, like that. It's like walking through a sewer. Yeah. Stuff like crawling. You're like, get off! It's gross. And the other thing is that you never can find anything in a Home Depot ever. You end up wandering around for like an hour and a half. You're like, I don't know where my floor's out there. This is ridiculous. So you try to call home or like, your girlfriend or whatever, and because you forgot what it was you were looking for in the first place. And if your family is anything like mine, you don't want to answer your phone, that's why we have cell phones. So, to not answer them. So then you end up wandering around for like an hour and a half trying to find a dude in the orange apron, and he's always like in the back of the store, hiding underneath the box someplace in the field position, like, I don't want to deal with customers. You walk up to him, you're like, hey man, look at me, and he looks all indignant. He's like, oh, it's not my apartment. I'm like, dude, you're the manager. So they like send you down to like a different department. You're like praying you get there. You're like, yeah, when I walk through the main aisle of Home Depot, I shall find my Lord's house for the hour with me. You get there and the dude's like trying to be nice, but he's like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry, it's out of stock. It's like 2 hours in and it's out of stock. You know, that's awesome. Like, don't worry about it, man. I can order it and have it shipped here for you. Well, that's perfect, because I want to build the floor exactly right here. Right here is where I want to build the floor, inside your store. I can build the gazebo in aisle 13. Aisle 13, good. I just don't want to flash the lights. I just want to make sure it's going to work for you. Okay, good, we're solid. And don't even get me started on display photos. I mean, they're really confusing for little kids. Like, for real, they are. Like, let's just say they need more than rubber ones that day. Kidding, the phones are working, it's okay. Anybody like musicals in the room? Alright, cool. Oh, guy raising his hand. Yeah, good. I have manners. Awesome, but it's my turn to talk though, thank you. Yeah, no, I love musicals, but can you imagine if life was like that? How weird would that be? Like, even as a kid, you don't learn how to crawl, and you don't learn how to walk, and you don't learn how to do duck it. With style, like, weird. Anytime you do that, you learn how to, like, and you can knock it above the middle of the day. Anytime you're hanging with your friends, you gotta leave breaks to do. Like, one show-stopping network where everyone's going like this. Synchronized for some random reason. And some dude's gonna fly over your head and, like, break his leg, hopefully. Okay. I get the whole break a leg thing, it's supposed to be reverse psychology, but is that really the worst thing you could come up with, like, that could happen? Why don't you go up there and break your skull? Oh, let's see you sing and dance after that. Everyone that laughs at that joke, you're a bad person, I feel bad for you. Honestly, it's messed up. You shouldn't laugh at that. You should not laugh at that joke. But it's even worse. Can you imagine go to the doctors in a musical? First of all, the whole doctor-patient privilege thing shot out the window because everyone's singing your diagnosis. And then the doctor's not even good at it. It's like, you need a prostate gland. And it won't be covered on your HMO. It's like, well, thanks God for that, doc. He's like, don't worry, your leg's fine though. Your leg is not broken, so that's just good. Another thing is, can you imagine relationships in musicals? That'd be ridiculous. Like, what would you supposed to be stuff that's fighting, you know? That wouldn't happen. Imagine the first kiss really in a musical would be like, I just had my first kiss on love. Everyone in the city's gonna pop their heads up and say, he's in love. He's in love. Some dude's gonna pop, oh, he broke another leg. Oh, that's messed up, man. That's messed up. Another thing, you can't say anything smooth and subtle like in a musical. It's impossible. It's like, hey, God, I got a little secret to tell you why. Wreck your car. Don't worry, I missed a dude's legs. It worked out for me. Thank you guys so much.